Hi everyone, it's Mark. Thank you so much for joining me today. So you can see that I've got quite a large canvas. I've got my spring colours with some black and white and some gold. And I'm going to create a piece that just is a happy piece. It includes the spring colours, and I associate spring with the reds, the oranges, the yellows and the pinks. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add those colours into 2 cups, and I'm literally going to pour those cups onto my canvas. And then I'm going to add the black and white on top. And I can't wait to share with you what I'm going to do. So let's do the cups, let's pour these out, and then we'll continue with the process. So as you can see, I'm literally just taking each cup and swirling the paint out of the cup onto the canvas. I'm going to create a base colour, but then I'm also going to do something on top. And I obviously know the end result already because I'm doing a voiceover, and I think you're going to love it. So stick with me just to see how this piece transforms. But first of all, I'm going to stretch out the colours from the cups across the full canvas. I'm not going to push it down the edges just yet because I want to do something on top before we do that. But I'm just getting a good coverage on the surface area of the canvas before we do the next part of the process. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to swipe on top of this piece with just black and white. My swipe colour is actually gold, and that's what's got my cell activator in it. But I'm really interested to see how this turns out. So I've got my colours on my base. So on my base you saw that we've got the reds, the pink, the orange, the yellow, and a little bit of white. But all I'm doing is I'm literally swiping some gold paint over the top of the black and white. I literally dip my palette knife into the gold paint that's also got my cell activator. I place my palette knife on top of the black and the white colours, and I slowly drag the palette knife across the top of that paint and allow it to glide over the paint that's already on the surface area of the canvas. You'll see that I do clean my palette knife each time, and I'm just going to repeat that again, but over here. So again, I'm just going to layer some black and white and then swipe some gold paint over the top. And I can't believe the reaction and the cells that are created by just using this method. I love this piece. I'm going to stretch it out shortly, but let me just continue with this process and then I'm going to take you in for a closer look. But guys, remember, when you swipe, allow your palette knife to sit on top of the paint. Allow the paint from the palette knife to connect with the paint that's on your canvas. Allow your palette knife to glide. Don't press down too heavy. Don't apply too much pressure. You're just allowing it to glide over the surface area. I've got to show you the detail before we stretch out. So we started off with the 2 cups that we just poured onto the canvas. We added some black and white lines on top and then swiped over the top of that with the gold. And you can see here how some of that detail is already popping through. So I do want to stretch this piece out. I'm just going to let it sit for a couple of minutes to allow the cell reaction to take place. But I'm now just picking up my canvas. Ooh, swirl it around like a pizza. Don't be scared to turn your canvas if you need to. I like to tilt in one direction, so I do turn my canvas quite often so I can remain at tilting. But I'm also conscious that you guys want to see what I'm doing as well. So I always tend to push the paint forward so you can see it move. But I'm literally just going to push that paint across the canvas and down the edges and bring it back on itself to allow me to use the volume of paint on the canvas without wasting too much. But what we're doing here is the cells that we've created with the swipe, we're just opening them up even more. We're opening the lines up that we've got on our base, but we're also opening up the cells that we've got from the swipe. And remember, this is your piece that you're creating. So take your time, have a look at the paint as it moves, have an idea of how much you want to open those cells up. I really want just those cells to open up a little bit more, so I'm just tilting from side to side and allowing that paint to move across the surface area. If you're enjoying the video, please give it a thumbs up and a like. I really appreciate you doing that. And I'd love to hear what you think as you watch. So any thoughts, any comments that are coming into your mind, please just drop them in the comments below. I read every single one of them, and I do try and respond to everyone as well. And I love, it's a privilege for me to be able to read what you're thinking, your interpretation. It really helps me kind of connect with you as we paint. So a big thank you in advance for doing that. So ignore the concentration on my face. Actually, I look a bit miserable. I promise you I'm not. I'm just in that moment of creating and enjoying that process. So ignore my face. Have a look at the piece as we're creating it. I'm getting paint everywhere on the carpet. You don't want to see my floor. Believe me, I may look clean. My t-shirt, a lot of people say, you don't ever have paint on your t-shirt. But believe me, if you saw the environment that I work in, the walls and the floor are covered. So anyway, I'll let you watch the rest of this process. But I just wanted to politely remind you to enjoy it for yourself and enjoy the composition that you're creating. Have a real good look at the pattern as it transforms and as it stretches out, because you'll get to know how much you want to push off the edge and how much more you want to open up on the surface. Okay, so this is obviously the wet version. I've literally just placed it down on my table. I've got rid of all the drips that are around the edges. But I really love that balance in the middle of the, we've got the black and white swipe, but the colours have also infused because we added the colour to the base first. So you can see different tones shimmering through those cells, balanced with the lines that we created by just pouring out those 2 cups on the surface of the canvas and stretching it out. Some of those lines are so interesting. I can't wait for it to dry so I can get a deeper look at that detail. So yeah, I'm going to let this dry and then I'll take you in for a closer look at the dry version. So here we go, the dry version. It's barely changed. I'm so happy with it. I love that we've got the 2 details of the swipes that have got the cells, and then we've got the block colours in between those swipes. And yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think of these colours? I'm using these colours quite a lot at the moment because it reminds me of spring. We're coming into our warmer weather here in the UK, albeit still might rain nearly every day where I live. But, you know, I can't moan. I enjoy where I live, so I'm able to get outside in nature and do a lot of walking, and that's something that I really, really enjoy. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. I need to varnish this. I use a spray varnish by Winsor & Newton. It's a gloss varnish, and that's going to help all those details to really pop through. I just want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for joining me for all my videos, listening to me as I create, and giving me the feedback on the comment section and on the likes. So thank you so much for all of your support, and I really hope I get to see you again soon in the next video. Bye.